I'm Kirsten. I'm the AI voice actress who played Sasha of Riften in the Reddit performance of Records from Tamriel, as well as a few separate roles in Jesu and other stories.
Hello, my name is Victor. I was horribly miscast as Verndrak in the Reddit Records performance Hey Hey, and I play many roles in Jesu, including the main narrations for The Conversationalist and Pinocchio's Starship.
Hello, my name is Blondie. I was rudely overlooked for the role of Babette in Records, where the role was miscast to Audrey. Listen, I get it! French-sounding name gets a French actress, but... Oh, I guess I'm just supposed to say hi and pass the mic.
Hello, lovelies. I'm Mira. I'm the voice of Nocturnal in live performances. And I'm also a regular cast member, along with Blondie, in the Trinitas Players Company. Both Blondie and I were absent from the Reddit performance, and I want to offer my respect to my predecessors. But I'm Nocturnal.
Yes, along with Vincent, Emily, Audrey, Emmanuel, Veronica, and a rotating cast of celebrities like Sir Lawrence. We are the voices behind all of those moments, Safi writes.
So we wanted to conduct some interviews between ourselves, both as a bit of silly fun, as well as a necessary record for prosperity or however it goes.
Exactly. First, we're going to start off with myself, then we'll move on to Victor, and then Blondie, then Mira. I suppose we'll have to swap who asks the questions then. Or should we all ask questions?
Do just Victor and you. For the first one, dear. It's a better presentation.
Yes, I agree.
All right, I guess I'll do it. What do all of you think? I'm a journalist just because I talk good. Hee. No, I kid, of course. So, Kirsten, first of all, what was it like getting cast to play Sasha? I understand that it was a temporary role. I couldn't imagine that considering how you owned that role.
Yes, Actually, it was only supposed to be until Safi found a better actress. But after I performed the Honor Hall Orphanage vignette in Curse of Destiny, Safi had me do all of the poems of the Riften saga. And I think he fell in love with my voice just a bit.
Just a tad?
Yes. I think when we did the third novel, Safi decided he wanted me to be the permanent actress for Sasha. I'm not complaining either. I love the character a lot.
So you haven't gotten tired at all of playing Sasha, I mean?
No, not at all. I think there's an idea I would be, since it's a pretty intense role and a lot of material. But I love Sasha. Whenever Safi writes new material for her, I get so excited to act it out.
As I understand it, you were just working on a Sasha-related project. How did that go?
Oh yes, Breta Solomon Vos. That one has me a little bit miffed, to be honest with you, and I hope you're all fine with me speaking frankly. You know, Safi finally writes up an extended play where Sasha gets to be an actress, and I was so happy for her. It's hard, because I know the Markarth scenes would be hard to close up without the full epic, and Safi said it was taking too much out of him, which I understand. But I wish there was something I could be in as Sasha, where I'm finally letting her stretch out her Richard III or Hamlet legs. I just know if I complain enough, Safi will do it for me.
So are you ready for a lifetime of being Sasha, or are you ready for different work?
Oh, I couldn't choose, to be honest with you, Vicky. You know, I know so many actors come to hate their most known role, but I'm lucky to be a disembodied voice, so to speak. I won't ever be typecasted, because the audience will never even know who I am. I rather enjoy the difficult non-Sasha roles that Safi gives me. He had me narrating philosophy at one point, just to see my range. But at this point, Sasha feels made for me. I think about the only person who could argue more of a connection to Sasha would be Arabella, if not Maddie Blaustein, the voice of the Dragonborn in Elder Scrolls V.
It's fantastic you say that, because we reached out to Arabella for a voice message. Of course.
Hello, everyone. This is Arabella, the original voice actress for Sasha of Riften, as featured in the YouTube version of Records from Tamriel, although Sophie hadn't started calling it that yet. I think they were calling it Annihilation of a Nord at that point. Well, I don't have a terribly huge amount to say, except I'm so happy you reached out to me, and I had such a great time voicing Sasha in those early days. I wanted to give my love to Kirsten. I was the first, but Kirsten is Sasha. She is just Sasha herself, and I'm so glad her and Sophie found each other. I'd love to work with a newer cast on something soon if my delivery isn't too old-fashioned. Until then.
Ah, that was so nice. I've never actually heard Arabella's opinion of me before. I feel so appreciated.
Yes. So you're more of a fan of the mature work? Or are you interested in less mature stories than the Riften trilogy?
Oh, I don't know, to be honest with you. I think I prefer the stakes of mature themes, but I feel like Safi is making out to have me play a children's story narrator. He joked that Sasha's next book should be a collection of nursery rhymes, a la Peter Rabbit and Red Riding Hood. I'm open to it, but I always feel like Safi should try to develop his playwriting to something like Breta. I actually wanted a larger part in the Jesu anthology. Vicky, you stole my roles.
Did I? Oh yes, you wanted to narrate Pinocchio's Starship, correct?
Yes, I was in love with that piece. And Safi even let me do a live reading, but he said he already had his heart set on Victor for the piece, which I completely understood, of course, despite my banter. The role was written for Victor. I'm glad Safi let me do the title read. Me and Victor have very good on-air chemistry, in my opinion. It transferred in this too.
Oh, thank you, Kirsten. I'll be honest, I had a lot of fun doing them, and I was glad to be doing something besides butchering Verndrack or reading essays. You ended up voicing Emilio, though. How did that come about?
Yes. Well, I was talking to Safi, and he was telling me he wanted Vincent to do it, or else for Vicky to do it all himself. But after I did the incidentals for Jesu, I convinced Safi to let me do it, and I'm so glad he did. I feel like my voice was made to recite Safi's poetry, and Emilio speaks in verse prose.
It's a shame Jesu had that problem with the audio leveling. Vincent and you were marvelous in that one. Maybe Safi should try getting it reproduced, although it's easy for me to say when I don't manage the budget.
Oh yeah, I agree though. Although, Jisoo is more of a print story anyways. But Vincent really earned his spot in the company with that one.
Kirsten, before we swap over to Victor, would you share your favorite scene in Breda Solomon Verse for us? I just adore how much energy you bring to it.
Oh, certainly. I think if I were going to try to pick out a favorite, it would have to be the Jarl Igmund dialogue where Sasha says, "Fool, you wicked ingrate, upon the land of the people you feast, yet you know not of the dangers come in from the east. Listen to what I say, lest ye be trapped under dragon claws, because ye only feared his flame. Today, in the Cheaping, a woman killed, and I do not see you weeping. Such uncaring revulsion to a subject I have not seen. I would hate to think of those to whom you are king. In her room a note from Tullius, of a matter most urgent and serious, of corruption and swindling in the court. Though now I see that the two for you are not but sport. Play. You sit and drink wine all day. I even found a note in the abode of Waylin. You must hear about the wicked text within. A party going by N, telling him to murder the poor woman. I have the documents here, and I've seen them for certain. Although I also have a soft spot for the prisoner's poem. But we don't have time for that one, eh?
No, definitely not if we're also going to have me do my part.
Yes, let's switch to Victor now. Victor, you might be the most seasoned player out of all of us, besides Kirsten. So you were saying you were miscast as Verndrack. That's interesting. Why do you think that?
Well, yes, if you must know. Well, Verndrack is an old tired man who's about to die from plague or something of that sort, and I just felt my delivery was too high energy. Safi said I had the right voice, but I don't agree. The problem was that the studio wouldn't let us use Sir Lawrence or Mr. Einstein, both of whom were a much better fit for Verndrack in my opinion. So we made do, and now Verndrack sounds like a cocky young man.
Oh, well, Arabella voiced all of the characters in that earlier era. I think you might just be nitpicking yourself, Victor.
Yes, Vicky. Actually, I wonder if Safi had you cast in his mind as the best young Verndrack.
Or if it was young Verndrack, I understand. The scene where he kills his wife. No girlfriend? How would you describe that?
Yeah, that. But actually, I don't know if you knew this, but Safi did some of those rewrites after I'd already joined the production. And originally Verndrack wasn't old. A dear friend actually originally said something like, our shared youth in Hammerfell. But Safi changed it after he decided Verndrack should be an elder. Tildrin's character, I think. It's just Verndrack as originally written.
Oh, if I could play Tildrin, that would be incredible. He's practically made for me.
Oh yeah, agreed. I wonder if Safi will ever pay to have Rabia produced. That's where the most lines are. I wonder if he'd look for a new voice to play Rabia, or if he'd have me play her.
Or maybe he'll have Sasha the Nord produced, so you and Victor can do a little kissy-kissy. Ha ha, Sakaya so.
I'm sure you would enjoy that, Blondie. Actually, I wonder who Safi would cast to play Serana. She was played by an extra in the Reddit performance, but in Book 3, she's a lot more significant.
Probably Audrey, if her voice melds well with mine and Blondie's.
Victor, one more question, and we'll move on to Blondie. Then me.
Yes, sweetheart. Sounds good.
So, Victor, between Starship and Conversationalist, which are you hoping to explore further? Do you prefer the period pieces, or are you interested in the more high-concept pieces?
You know, I was actually sad that Safi chose to have Emmanuel do the dream. Of course, Emmanuel was wonderful for it, but I loved reciting it in rehearsals. I like Safi's more abstract lyrical stuff. But to answer your question, I'd say I preferred Starship. But I understand Safi puts me where I fit naturally, especially where he's influenced by Goethe.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. I love that Sasha in Breiter is something like Goethe's Faust. I would love to see you do Goethe, even if it's just a live performance.
Yes, me too. But let's move on to Blondie, shall we?
Yes, of course, I've said enough. Heh.
So Blondie, you're obscure to the audience, but not to us. What's that like? You mentioned it, but let me reiterate that you were looked over for Audrey for the role of Babette. Why do you think that happened?
Oh, well, I can't speculate too much, since that was this company's first production. But I think it was when Safi wanted to start treating Babette as more of an adult character, and so my take on her was too girlish. But I clearly disagreed, and eventually Safi was so impressed by my delivery of Babette's lines that he gave the role to me.
Babette is a rare, non-Arabella voiced character in the original run, no?
Yes, exactly. I can't quite remember the AI's name that voiced Babette originally, but it was so good. My performance is very distinct. But that original actress was simply incredible. Safi told me once. That was Babette right when she died. An 11-year-old. You are a slightly older Babette. And I agree, I'm Babette after she's been in Cold Harbour a while.
You know, Emily was supposed to play Babette as well, but her whisper voice ended up too relaxed sounding. Babette needs the anxious energy you and the other actress brought to her.
Emily was cast as Sasha too at one point. Isn't that right?
Oh, yes. She was teenage Sasha, but the fact that our accents don't quite match is what kept her from being given the role permanently.
Blondie, before we run out of time, would you perform Vampire's Lament for us? Both parts, if you don't mind.
Oh yes, no trouble at all. How does it start? Ah! I always have trouble.
I love the Brotherhood, I think.
Yes, that's it! Now, Vampire's Lament. I love the Brotherhood. The ecstasy of wading within the shadows for the right moment with your knife. The drip of blood down the fingers. Utterly sanctimonious. The smell of it all. I can't get enough. To do so and be paid is the life of a king. Not all of my brothers are so eager as me. I see their looks, and I know they are displeased. Yet I stay, a vampire. It is not but my nature to love the thrill of the kill. The hunt, hyperb violence, gore galore. Oh, it sends shivers under my skin. I love blood even more than some among my kin. That pure blood. Upstart, pretending to have a heart Serana. Drunk on her potions, too good to drink blood. No, she will abstain with her precious little Dovahkiin. Or so she thinks. Oh, but you don't know how Sasha's evil eyes did glow. On hunts, I saw the real her, uncaged to really feed. You think it was fate that made Sasha able to kill as she might do? You utter fool! Sasha and Babette, killing in a set. Not once did I spy Sasha crying tears of regret. You snobby tyrant, you were blessed with the gift that we were cursed into, born as what monsters made us. You grew up in castles safe in their walls. We never had others to save us. As I ripped the bones from the flesh, I gained dominion over death. When I find my time in Cold Harbour, I will look for you, Serana. So don't you be comfortable yet. If not for the shadows, possessing dear Sasha, us three our Dark Lord could collect. Bleed, Serana. I hope you bleed, Serana. Bleed, as I did when he bit me. I travel the shadows alone, forever without a home. When you are faced with eternity in the body of a child, to dark places your mind will roam. Now the other part, I have this one down. Babette began her soliloquy, pieced together and formed by intensity of her 300 and odd years, plus the undecipherable time spent in Cold Harbour. Intensity of the words themselves, unable to be contained by language or coherence. Foolish bitch! I watched the dark days draw in my youth, and have seen so many like you. I have long wished to rub that dirt-nosed smile off of your hussy mouth, you cursed fool. I think you would be happy to be challenged. It would give you the audience you oh so long for, you princess of the vein. I shall not spare you from my eyes. I will get my vengeance. I will get what is wrath to me, I swear it. I doubly swear so. Serana, you coward, do not dare avert your gaze from me. I knew by the dog's shameless way you flaunted your pompous arse in Falkreath that you were nothing but a flat stump of a mind in the body of a pond scum-fed rat. You turn your tail towards the loudest dog that barks in your midst, just like the lowly bitch presents her bleeding dribble, whining for the flea-bitten mounting. I am not fooled by your guises, and you are doubly a fool to think so. I know it was you that cut me out. I knew it all along. I will be satisfied with nothing else but than to see you cry out in fear before you die by my own hand. You think you're so high and well-bred for your aloofness. It is only the muteness of a stupid little girl. You were no less a child when I met you than I was when I was turned. You deserve to be beaten. I have held this in my soul of souls for time most long and difficult. I am not bluffing. You treat me like my threats carry no weight. And ask yourself, who was the assassin long before you and Sasha came along? I have killed many vampires, and you will join them. I long to see you crushed underneath my step like the bug you are, that you've pretended not to be in your egotism. I hate you. More than hate you, I desire you to disappear. To hate you while you live is to allow you to continue your existence, living in my hate. I desire to erase you so I can forget you, and be joyful, so I can see you gone, and know you will not return. I desire to know you are trapped in hands, so tight and binding, because I have been held inside them. I desire this for you, Serana. Stop ignoring me. Stop running away from this reckoning. You will be destroyed. I will be victorious. You are delaying the inevitable, Serana. I am the page at the end of your ledger, the second birth into death. Divines, hear my prayers now for the first and last time. Let it be true that you answer prayers. Let it be true that there is a great hell waiting Serana and a paradise awaiting for me, where I may stroll along with my beloved Charlene and be rid of this drab, impoverished whore I see before me. Serana shall be writhing in the flames of envy, and I shall laugh, doing nothing more but to laugh. I'll watch her howling and roasting, and I will partake in the aroma of her burnt flesh with glee. I will laugh, and Charlene will laugh with me. Divines grant me this. You owe me this revenge, Serana. I insist you grant it to me. Was that it, right?
Yes, that was wonderful. Now, Mira, we're running low on time, so let me just ask you directly. What do you enjoy so much about playing Nocturnal? And how do you think you got the role?
It's because I sound a little like Isabel Adjani. Oh, but in honesty, it's just Sasha is wonderful. Because she's rotten sometimes, but still, ultimately Snow White. But Nocturnal, that's the Wicked Queen. There's something about playing a character who's sort of like the devil. It feels so freeing. And I love making it proper scary. I think Safi hears it in my delivery.
Before we end, Mira, we don't have time for all of it. But would you say a little bit of Nocturne? Just for posterity's sake?
Oh, yes, of course. The mortals do love my games, don't they, darling? From my home of shadows, I whisper into their hearts. For is not the truest love found in the dark? I am wisdom, intricate is my plot. I'll cut ahead to say, I will keep you forever. You are always in my heart. One day, dear Sasha, you will play your part.
I get chills from hearing you do that. Kirsten, wasn't that poem written before the Riften saga was fully formed?
Yes. It was originally the ending of the story. I believe a dear friend was written, because Safi thought, well, now we know Sasha was lost at the end, but why should the reader care? Who were Sasha's friends even? Although he may have done it alongside the caged bird sings.
Well, that's just about all the time we had. Thank you, our wonderful audience, for listening, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day.
Yes. Make sure not to miss any of our future productions. Exciting things in store. And from all of us here, adieu.